We still don't know why above 8,000 feet we're safe. Go, 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 go!
George, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on Elevation. Before we get to it, I want to ask something that I've asked the others. There was a scene in the film where Anthony's character Will finds the box of mac and cheese, and it made me wonder that if you were in the apocalypse times, what is the one comfort food you hope to come across?
Wow. Mac and cheese would be way up there. Probably a good bottle of scotch. I don't know if that counts as a food.
It does.
And chocolates.
Yeah. For sure. No, those are great choices. Something that really fascinated me with this film was that this is actually the third time you and Anthony have collaborated. So I'm wondering what makes that, director-actor partnership with him so special, and how did that influence the film?
I'll start with how it influenced the film. I read the script, and the character was a different gender, and it was not Anthony. And I thought, wow, it would be interesting to put Anthony in this setting. And he hadn't really done something like this before. And so I talked to the writer producer about doing that. And he knew my relationship with Anthony and was like, that's a really interesting idea. So we rewrote the script for Anthony. And as to why we keep working with the same people, I mean, it's hard to get any complicated task done. It's very hard to get a movie done and good. I mean, just look at the movies that are out there. So when you find people who are reliable and are fun to work with, and you understand what they care about, they understand what you care about, a shorthand develops. And if I could, I'd have 10 actors that I just kept doing stuff with, and the same editor and composer and costume designer and so forth. So
yeah, no, I love this film because it is in the vein of that sort of silent, quiet apocalypse where the isolation is so prevalent. It reminded me a little bit, yes, of A Quiet Place, but something that was so different was obviously the creatures in this, and they are called Reapers, and they're pretty terrifying. I'm wondering, how did you come across the design for their behavior and the mechanics of the hunt? Because I cannot imagine what goes into something this detailed and distinctive to be its own thing.
Yeah, you start with visual references. For me, I had some visual references from nature, which I don't want to spoil the creatures, but you can probably imagine what some of those were. And then it goes to the visual effects supervisor and sort of that department to start pitching back, well, what if it does this? And one of the hardest things, and one of the things that takes the longest, is to make that creature move like it would have its own movement, right? So you look to nature to say, how do creatures move in nature? But it's not, a leopard, even though it might have some leopard-like characteristics or big cat-like characteristics. It's not, an insect, even though it has some characteristics with that, right? So you have to design a way that creature slinks, how it walks, how it trots, how it gallops, and that is a lengthy process. Doing good visual effects, even with all the tools we have now, is lengthy in its design.
Yeah, it came together very well. They were really creepy looking, and I'm not going to spoil for people, but they are creepy. And I cannot imagine having that chase you in the isolated Colorado hills. But I also want to talk about
an enclosed mine.
Or an enclosed mine. Oh my gosh, the mine scene is a lot. So I do love the setting, and I feel like it's such a character. How did you work to achieve that effect, especially with such a rich location like Colorado? Because it was such a beautiful setting for it, but that juxtaposition of there's this darkness, kind of creeping around the corner.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wanted the juxtaposition. I wanted when they're up there to feel like a sort of almost idyllic Garden of Eden like lifestyle, and then there's a strong reason why he has to go down to save his kid's life, and the women who accompany him, Morena in particular, has her own agenda, but so you can unpack that agenda as you're going down. But so the distinction between kind of this almost perfect, bucolic, beautiful life at 8,000 feet and above, and just the horror of what's below, is important thematically for the movie. And I forgot what your first question was. There were two questions in there.
Yeah, it was about the isolation and the setting. Like, how did it come together with the
Oh,
film?
it came together because I read the script. I really wanted to shoot in the Rockies themselves, and I really focused on Colorado because it's the state that has the Rockies attached to it more than any place else. So I went there on my own, and then I went back with one or two people and met people there and asked to go up in the mountains and look at stuff. And I found locations that I thought were really interesting, and then we wrote to those locations.
Considering the film has a little bit of an ambiguous ending, I was wondering if you were going to explore another film in this universe. Like, what direction would you envision for this story?
Well, the reveal at the end, or sort of two reveals at the end, raise more questions. And then there's the question of why are they safe above 8,000 feet? We have always had an answer to that, but yeah, we'd like to do it in the next movie.
Yeah, for sure. I hope there's another one. And I'm getting the wrap, but before I let you go, I have been following your career for a while. I love the Adjustment Bureau so much, and I know over the years you've been tied to the Flash Gordon film as the executive producer, and I don't know what's going on with that. Following the news of Taiki Waititi being on board, has there been any developments since? Are you still tied to the film? I know you penned the initial treatment. I'm curious what's taking so long to get this off the ground.
Yeah, I'm not too involved with that one. There's a couple things coming up that I can't talk about that I'm humbled to be involved with that I think would be in your realm of interest, but not too involved with Flash Gordon at this point.
Okay, all right. I hope it's the Adjustment Bureau 2 or something. We'll see. But thank you so much, and congrats on it. It's amazing.
Thanks. Bye-bye, Tanya. Take care.